you have some debt, so let's talk about it.
Lord.
So the total that I had was $50,529.
Nobody should ever introduce me to no credit card, is all I gotta say. Like, you gotta spend this to get your points, and bam. So yeah, I went to Baltimore this summer for $11.
Well, you went to Baltimore for $8,326.
Yeah, you're right, but it's $11 in my head. Like,
we're spending money on something every day.
I'm sorry. You gotta face your demons, people.
Yeah.
Literally.
So we're facing them today.
He's saying all the right things, y'all. You're right. Seriously, like, I really gotta sit down and map this out.
Welcome to My Money Movement, a guide to financial freedom. On today's episode, I am meeting with Armani, and we're going to discuss personal finances. And I'm going to do an in-depth review of Armani's financial health. And then at the end of the episode, make sure you stay tuned because I'm going to give out a game plan, very detailed, of how Armani can get from her life of debt into financial freedom. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. Yeah. I appreciate you.
Sweet. Well, if you wouldn't mind first, just tell me a little bit about yourself.
So I'm 25. I'm a barber, and I'm a basketball coach as well. I'm a free-for-all kind of gal. I kind of like to do what I would like on my own time.
Fair.
So I like that I am a barber and I can make my own schedule most of the time, and meeting new people and just making money on the day. And yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Let's go. As you should be in your 20s.
Yeah, literally. I like living my bestie, so
absolutely
try and do it.
So, yeah, I mean, the reason why you're here today is you've kind of found yourself in a situation financially that you don't want to be in.
Literally. Yeah.
And I just want to ask you, has anyone in your life been a good financial influence? Has there been anyone who's kind of talked to you about money before?
Not really. Like, my mom's always been there for, giving me little details, but it's not like she's ever been the best with money either, my family like that. So I kind of am just like learning on my own how to budget. I used to be really good with budgeting for real when I had like a consistent job, like consistent pay. I get that weekly check and I could balance out my bills and everything, and I could see it all clearly. But I haven't had any introduction with nobody that can help me out like that. So
That's
I need
fair.
that.
Well, I'm glad you're here today.
Yes.
This for a lot of people is just kind of the first step. And I just want to commend you for being here because it takes action to discuss this topic today, because some of the things I'm going to talk about are going to be uncomfortable. And some of the things I'm going to tell you might not like, and that's okay. I want you to experience those emotions because that's part of the process.
For sure.
But
Absolutely.
Being here today is the biggest step. So I'm so happy for you.
Thank you, seriously.
And then, too, if you're watching at home, make sure you check out mymoneymovement.com. If you are struggling with debt and need some financial advice, that's a great resource. Check it out. I appreciate you mentioning that because for a lot of people that I talk to, that's the truth. They don't have anyone in their life who's been a good role model financially. And we are a product of our experiences. So if you haven't had someone who's been able to teach you that, you're going to be in the situation you're in.
Absolutely.
So let's acknowledge that and move forward.
We love the progress.
So you mentioned you're a barber and then you do basketball coaching. How else are you spending your time right now?
Literally just at work. I can't even lie. Like, I'll spend it sometimes with my family. Lately, I hit a stump where I had to move out of my place. So I've just been trying to get back into it and get just my plans back on track. So I'm always busy. I'm always working. I'm always trying to like figure out something to make me money. So that's what I do in my free time.
Do you feel like you have a good balance right now between what you want to do and your work?
I do. Yeah. Because my passion is to be a barber, so like that's where I'm putting my main focus in, and that's where it's kind of like, I don't even know the word, but you put so much like work into your passion, but it's not really falling through yet. It's not, all that money's not coming in yet, but it's like that's what you want to do, so that's where I'm putting my work in. But I also got to do a little something on the side to maintain my lifestyle. So it's crucial. It's crucial.
Well, and the cool part about once you get out of this debt is you can make decisions that are less based on how can I pay my bills tomorrow,
right, exactly.
And you can make decisions on long term, what's going to bring me the most fulfillment in life.
Exactly.
Which, if you're dedicated at your craft, like, you are going to go far.
Yeah.
But to your point, you got to put in the work.
Exactly.
And
And like nothing's free. Nothing's free. And I have definitely learned that. Like, always got to put the work in for something that you want.
Yeah. So how much are you making right now as a barber?
Okay, so where I'm working right now, I just get so the client that comes in, that's the money I get. I don't even get an hourly or anything right now at this shop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's where my struggle has been the past couple months. You know, I started at this shop right at the beginning of the summer, and I was making so much money. Like, I felt like I was rolling in the dough, like, really. And then, boom, like, these last few months, it's like I'll have a client or two or none, like, throughout the whole week. So I made $0 this week, you know. I was struggling. Like, I really hit a little rock bottom. But now I'll be starting next week at another barbershop as well. Okay. And that'll be paying like an hourly, and then I'll get compensated for I'll get the percentage of the commission for that. So that'll balance me out. But yeah, it's not a lot. It's a little minimum wage. And you know, people always tell me like, dang, you're a barber, like you should be making so much money because people get haircuts all the time. But it's like, people don't have money all the time for a haircut. You know, like they wait months or so. They wait till the holidays, and there's that very few group of people that come like on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. So that doesn't make my income consistent. So yeah.
That makes sense. So is that kind of why you had this huge influx at that first shop?
Yes. So so I started there. It was great. You know, the money was rolling in, and then boom, it's just end of summer. People aren't going out anymore. It's winter time. They're growing their hair out, and they're like, yeah, I don't need a haircut. I can save this $50 or whatever. I can use it for something else. Right. And I get it. Like, $50 for a haircut, it's a little crucial. But with me, it's the experience. So I like the people that do take the time and come in, and they spend the money, and they know it's a quality cut and experience with me. So I appreciate that.
And you should value that.
I do. I really do. So that's what keeps me going. Like, this is what I want to do. I want to be a barber. And I've been at it 4 years now. So I'm trying to just keep on building it up.
I love that for you.
Thank you.
That kind of leads me to the next question, because what would financial freedom mean for you?
Man, just to be able to like kind of be worry free. Like, my bills are paid, there's money in my pocket, and I don't got nothing else to worry about outside of that. You know, like, I can go have fun and not worry about, dang, if I spent this dollar, like, am I gonna be able to pay my Xfinity bill tomorrow or something? You know, like, I want to be set all the way. So just worry free, literally.
I can feel it. I can feel that on you. Like, it's clearly weighing on you.
It literally is. And honestly, I just got a major relief this week. So I'm thankful for that. And I'll start working again next week. So I'm just like, I'm ready to get the ball running.
That's great.
Like, I can't stand feeling like a bum. That's how I feel right now.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry you feel that way.
It's all right. We got to go through it. Go through it and grow through it. So
yeah,
I'm ready.
If you are someone who's willing to put in the work, there's always going to be opportunities for you.
Agreed.
Yeah. In changing shops, like, that's a tough thing. And
it is, because so last year I started like my own business, and I opened up my own, like, kind of like this. So I had my own little studio, and it was going good. And then I hit the slow season. Winter came, and it was bad. Like, so that's why I moved down here to this shop. And again, like, I lost all my clientele from that area in Centennial, from downtown, because, you know, people they want convenience as well. Like, they're not going to drive 40 minutes for a haircut. It's not happening. But yeah, so I'm just
starting fresh.
Yeah, literally. And I feel good, honestly, starting fresh. Like, and I'm happy that all of this is happening at this age, because, like, you know, all the mental breakdowns, all the, like, gosh, I got to pay this, and this. Like, I'm just happy that it's happening now. So I'm learning all these lessons so that I'm a little more prepared later on in life.
Yeah.
So.
And I want that for you. I want you to build your business and build a clientele base, or build a business model that's not as reliant seasonally. You have some debt, so let's talk about it.
Lord.
Do you know the total?
I'll say like 50 bands, like 50K in debt around there.
How does it feel when you say that?
Like, damn, girl, what you been doing? Like, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And I got there, honestly, I feel, with these credit cards. Nobody should ever introduce me to no credit card, is all I got to say. Like, I was doing so good. Like, when I was in high school, I was a junior or senior. I got my first, like, car that I was making a payment on, and that's how I was building my credit. I was literally doing so good, and then, boom, I get to 24 or 25, and I need a credit card, and then, boom, I'm maxing them out. And I started credit cards, actually, when I started my business, so that's what I was using it for, so dangerous.
It's easy to fall into that, and there's a whole system in place that's positioned to kind of incentivize you to put money on those cards, and they serve a purpose. But when they kind of turn that corner and they start abusing us, because we get these nasty interest rate payments of like 20 to 30%, at that point things have changed and we got to take action. So that's where we're at today.
Exactly.
So the total I had was 50,529. You did better than most people because you at least knew the rough number. And the first step in kind of solving this is understanding the true situation. So I appreciate you coming here with that, because that's great. Some people hide from it.
I already know. You got to face your demons, people. Literally.
So we're facing them today. Sweet. So I'm going to break down kind of where the debt is.
Okay.
So you do have student loans of $9,757. What school was that from?
I went to Lamar Community College.
Cool.
You said it was like 5,000?
9,000.
9,000. So I went, so first after high school, I went to Pickens Technical College. And that may have been like a little loan
Part
that
of
they
it.
gave me. Yeah. I went there for a year, and then I did have to use some money for sure for Lamar Community College, and I was there for 2 years.
Cool. Did you end up getting a degree from there?
Yeah, I got my associates, just general studies. I was gonna go like to be a cop and then to be a journalist and doing all this, but I was like, I don't really like school, so like I don't really want to be in school. I don't believe in being anywhere where I just don't want to waste the time. I don't know. That's just where I'm at. But I just saw something different for myself. So I just got the general studies, and after that, I went to barber school, and then I've just been doing barbering since.
That's great.
Yeah, so,
I'm glad you got your associate's degree.
Yeah, literally 3 institutions, 3 degrees, so I'm good.
You got something out of it.
Yeah, I did. I'm not complaining. I love the experience, and that was another reason. Like, I just went to the technical college, and I was still living at home, and I didn't really get the full like college experience living in the dorm, little parties here and there. So that's another reason why I decided to go out to Lamar. So did that, and I enjoyed it. So I'm happy that I made that decision.
That's great. Those are experiences no one can take away from you, and no one can take that degree away from you.
Exactly.
Which is great. So that explains kind of a big chunk of it, and then you do have some money that went to collections.
Yeah.
Was that from a credit card?
I think, honestly, I feel like that's from like some like city stuff, like food stamps and stuff, like literally. I don't even know, but I know I do have. Actually, yeah, some business stuff is in there too. I do remember like they're just gonna send it to collections, and I just was like, whatever, just send it.
Sometimes we just gotta move forward.
Literally, I couldn't even take care of it. So
and it's not that much. It's $1,737.
Yeah, that's maintainable.
Yeah, when you add it all together, it starts adding up though, because the next one. Credit cards.
Right. Here we go.
$8,326.
And that's because, so when I opened my business last year, I got a Capital One credit card, and that was $5,000 on it. And I totally spent all 5. I had to get all my equipment and everything. And then I got a $2,500 Southwest credit card. So that's where that came from. That's where that one came from.
So did you do some traveling?
I did. Like, they're like, you gotta spend this to get your points, and bam. So yeah, I went to Baltimore this summer for $11. So I enjoyed that.
Well, you went to Baltimore for $8,326.
Yeah, you're right. But it's $11 in my head.
That's the trap of these cards, is they get you with the points.
It really is. I'm like, dang, y'all really got me here.
And one of the first things that I'll recommend for you is that you start paying with a debit card or cash.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least for the next 60 days for everything.
Okay.
Solely so that you are seeing the money leave your hands.
Yep.
Because there is something really powerful with swiping a card and just not paying attention to it. But if you have $200 in your pocket and that's all you have for the week.
And that's what I've honestly been trying, like seriously this week, just any of the money that I've been making, I'm like, all right, I know this week I'm not making enough like to pay a bill, but I'm making enough to, I guess, get me a meal or get some gas or something, or go have fun this weekend. So I've definitely been, all right, let me take $40 here, and that's all I'm spending tonight. That's it. And that's what I did last night, actually. I took out $40 and I spent $35, and that was that. And then that was my night. And so I was happy for that, for real, because I'm like, I'll really go and boom, 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 boom. But
it's easy.
Yeah, it's really easy.
Yeah. So that's the first thing, because when I looked at like your spending history, it's just like random stuff, but it's like every day.
Yeah. I'm like,
we're spending money on something every day.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. We're here to talk about it. So that's the credit cards. The last piece of your debt is car loan.
Mm-hmm. And I just got this car in March.
What kind of car did you buy?
It's a 2021 Subaru Legacy. So it ain't even, honestly, it ain't even my type of car. You feel me? Like,
it's a beautiful car.
It is a beautiful car, and I'm super blessed, and I'm thankful to have it for real, because I actually like my car that I really loved, and Alexis was actually with me.
Yeah. Like,
God bless our hearts that we're even here for real, because I was out drinking and driving in this car, and I crashed I crashed it. I mean, yeah. Crashed it, totaled it. So that's why I had to go get a whole new car, literally. So that's why I got like 30,000 on there.
So you bought one?
And
crashed it?
Yeah.
And then you had to buy another one?
Yeah, literally. Yeah. So that one, they took that one, or totaled that one out off of the balance, and then I went and got a new one. Because I'm like, well, I can't be without a car. Like, I literally... That's just my transportation. I literally drive everywhere. Like, I have to be here, and here. So I can't go without a car. I had to get a car.
You do have to have a car.
But I don't have to have a $30,000 car.
$30,000.
All right. Armani, because let's do better.
I have a Subaru, and I bought it for $10,000.
See?
And it's a 2017.
Dang! Seriously? Yeah, I got it, brand new. I don't know what it is. You got a brand new car.
Yeah. And there's something about a brand new car that makes you feel really good. But the problem is that is over half of your entire debt right now. And I have two plans built out for you. Okay. One involves keeping the car, and one involves figuring out how to sell that car. Okay. And getting out of 30 grand in debt. Yeah. Because there's multiple paths, though, because you can't keep the car. What I'm really excited about is that you didn't say a BMW.
I know. Y'all ain't going to catch me in one of those, a BMW, a Audi, because those just cause problems, I've heard.
They do cause problems. So I love that you're driving a Subaru.
Thank
really
you.
Reliable. That car is going to...
And that's what
it's going to last
saying.
A lifetime.
Yeah.
But if we can get a car that we don't go into debt for,
exactly,
it just pays dividends, because your car payment's $512.
It's $517 that I pay every month, and then $200 for insurance. Yeah.
So you're at $700 just with your car.
Just a car. Yeah. And it's frustrating.
Yeah. It's okay. We're here to talk about it, because the first step's knowing your numbers.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
So you're $700 in the door just with the car. But I'm glad you have insurance.
Yeah.
That's really important. Cool. So that outlines all of your debt. And the next thing I wanted to just confirm is, when you have this new job, how much money are you going to make a month?
A month?
Like, estimate.
I'm like, hourly. Okay, so hourly it's going to be 16. I'll be there like 7 hours a day. So just, I'm not really a math head. So like, what?
Are you doing 40 hours a week?
I will be. It'll be maxing up to that, yeah. Cause I'll be there Monday through Thursday, so.
Cool. Yeah, so you're roughly... Yeah, because isn't minimum wage $17.29 now? Or do they give you 16?
I don't even know.
Might only be 16 right now.
With 16, I feel like just with the business, with the Floyds, that's just what they're picking because we get that commission off of the clients
sure.
as well.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
I'm making like the double.
You're making more
basically.
for
Yeah,
sure.
Exactly.
I love Floyd's.
I've never worked for them at all, but I'm honestly so excited because they're so excited for me.
Yeah, Floyd's is great.
Yeah, so I'm ready to be a part of that team. And I'll be in DTC, so I'm ready to be around all the
That's a
businessmen.
great clientele too.
Yeah, I'm ready for that.
Awesome. Yeah, so if we were
I want to say like I'm hoping like $2,000 to $3,000 a month just off of barbering.
I think I have a calculator app on my little watch here.
I know that's right.
17. Oh, let's do 16. But you're going to get tips too.
Exactly.
We'll just do it off 16.
Okay.
And then you said you're doing 7 hours, 5 days a week?
What was that? Yep. No, it'll be 4 days a week. Oh, Monday through Thursday, 4 days. Yeah, 4 days a week.
So almost $500 a week. So $2,000 a month.
Yeah, around there. And then I don't even know, honestly, the pay with coaching. But we get paid twice a month with that. And then the other shop that I'm at downtown, it's kind of like, that's kind of like the money, like under the table money. Like, it's what I get, like I said, I get a client, that's the money that I get. I don't really pay him out until I get more than 3 clients. So if I just have a couple clients, that's the $100 I make, and that's mine for the day.
Great. So you're spending 4 days at Floyd's, and then you're going to spend...
I'll spend Friday and Saturday down here, downtown at another shop, and then Monday through Saturday coaching.
Sweet.
And then I'm about to start, actually, since I just moved back down. I'm in grind mode now, literally come Monday. I just applied back at FedEx. I was working there before I, had my little downfall, but that's weekly pay. So that's at least $200 to $300 you could get weekly. And I'll be doing that early morning. So like 1 to 3 in the morning.
Cool. So there's another $800.
Literally. And I'm just trying to.
And then, so how much are you making the 2 days at this other shop? Like $100 a day?
It really varies. Yeah. I'm like, it could vary from 0 to like literally, I made 300 yesterday. So,
sweet. What if we just say $100 a day?
Yeah, 100 a
so
day.
So $200. So you're looking at $3,000 per month.
See, and that sounds good until you put all my bills in there.
It sounds good until you tell people you live in Denver.
Exactly. Isn't it tough? Like, oh my gosh. But that's all right. We're going to make it work.
You're going to make it work. You're going to do great. And I can see the passion that you have, which is great. And it's not always about the money. It's what we do with the money that we do make.
Exactly.
Because $3,000 a month is sustainable. And you can build a savings and a retirement with that, but it's going to be challenging. I do think as you continue to develop, you need to look at ways that you can level up your income.
Yeah, exactly.
And, whether that's building up your clientele base to open up your own shop, or maybe it's, another skill that you have that you haven't really applied anywhere.
I know.
That could make you a lot of money as well.
Yeah.
And I love that you're in the grind mindset because that's a big part of the plan.
Yeah, I'm ready for this for sure.
Yeah. So before we get into the plan, I wanted to just highlight a couple things on your spending history. I wanted to ask you because you're spending money every day.
Man, every day. Literally every day. I know.
Why?
Because, I don't know. I guess I'm outside every day. I'm literally, like, if I leave the house, I'm spending money. Like, whether I don't know, if it's like I'm going to get a bottle of water or like my little snack from 7-Eleven or whatever, or.
Yep. I noticed a lot of those.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. It's like impulse stuff. It's like, hey, I want a snack.
Well, and it's because I also, like, I don't know, I need to be more of an adult and, like, pack a lunch or something. Because, seriously, like, I'm just on a whim. I get my breaks, and I'm like, all right, well, I need a snack. I need to do this and this and that. And so, yeah, I'm definitely,
I didn't even start to total up the groupings, but there was a lot of fast food. You only went to the grocery store twice.
Because Well, okay, actually, I ain't even gonna complain on the grocery store. I'm gonna just complain. I'm a single woman. I live alone, so I'm not really like, I'm not cooking meals like that for myself. So yeah, I'm definitely about to go and get me some fast food real quick or something quick and easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, like I would love to grocery shop and cook, but at the end of the day, I waste my money because I'm not home like that, and I don't.
Yeah.
You know, the food's gonna rot. It's gonna go bad or whatever. So I don't like to spend it there. I'm a boom, boom, boom. We do it right then and there. Like I can't have it sitting.
And that's just
it's crucial.
You're deciding that convenience is worth more than saving money right now.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's a mindset that I would like you to think about when you leave here, because you're spending so much money on fast food that, yes, the food might suck, but you can make a sandwich at home for $1.
You're right.
And pack that dang thing. And the best part about doing that is when you're eating that crappy little lunch at work, you can have a smile on your face because you know that you just saved all of that money that you were going to put at Chick-fil-A, and all that food sucks anyways. So
I know.
It doesn't make you feel
I literally
good.
know. I'm really fed up with the food too, to be honest, because I'm like, all right, I'm sitting here eating it.
Fast food doesn't make you feel good.
Yeah, no, it don't. It don't. Like, oh.
And that's one of the things that I think after looking at this that just was a real outlier is like, you got to start packing a lunch.
I know.
And that can be...
I know.
And don't go hard on it. Like, it needs to be something that you plan for. And one of the parts of your plan is going to be budgeting. Mm-hmm. And you need a budget amount of money that goes towards food every week.
Okay.
So that you can stay on track.
Okay. And
don't accidentally kind of blow up your budget because you went to Texas Roadhouse twice in one day.
Oh my gosh. Did I do that?
You did do that. You went to Texas Roadhouse twice in the same day.
Don't talk about it.
And it was a lot of money.
I love Texas Roadhouse. I really do.
There's nothing wrong with a good blooming onion.
I know. I don't know. I'm such an impulse person, and it's terrible sometimes. Like, I can make my best and my worst decisions off of that. Like, it's...
Well, I'm going to tell you something. You don't have to be an impulse person.
Right.
A trick that I like to utilize is anytime I feel like I'm going to buy something that isn't part of my budget, I count to 3.
Literally.
I literally count to 3.
Yeah.
I do this every time I'm at the grocery store and I'm looking at those Krispy Kreme donuts.
Dude.
I count to 3. And I have to remind myself, is this part of my financial journey, or is this going to get me derailed? Because the thing about impulse purchases is once you make one, the next one's easier.
It literally.
And then the next one's easier. And then at the end of the month, you spent every dollar you earned, and it was on just dumb stuff.
Literally dumb stuff. And I've definitely realized that. Like, I'm definitely not blind to what I have been spending. I know. But, and I'm going to get
Well, now we got to take action.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the first step is realization, and then the next step is just owning up and taking action. But you got to give yourself some grace, because you're going to make mistakes on this journey. This is going to take months and years.
Definitely.
It's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. So just like be kind to yourself, but it starts with just having a plan, which is going to be the budget portion I'll outline.
Perfect.
You like Prime Video.
I do.
You spent $87.
For real?
On Prime Video. I'm assuming movie rentals.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Is that like in a month or like in a day?
That's in the 2 months.
$80.
It was...
I'm like... I know
It was like 8 different purchases.
Really?
And it wasn't a monthly subscription because they
Really?
were all different prices.
Oh, I'm gonna hella have to look at that for real.
Check it out.
I'm like, yeah, I actually really need to look at that because I thought it was they just like charge it for my account. But actually, you know what?
You rented some movies, I think.
Man, I'm telling you, it really probably is not me. I'm telling you, it's my Amazon, right? But I've got all my sisters on there. And I've got my friends on there.
It is time to give them the boot because
get off my account, dog. They out here renting movies and shit.
They're renting movies like weekly.
Holy shit.
So you got to get on that. And part of why I want to bring these areas up, because if you're not looking at this every month and going, what is this? I didn't pay for this.
Right.
You'll never know. And right there, we just uncovered almost $100 that you could have in your bank account that you're family accidentally put on your card.
So serious, dude, because our dad ass didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
So
thinking
that's
it's the
part of the process is going to be when you're doing your budget. You don't have to print these off, but just look at your statements.
okay.
I would recommend starting weekly, looking at your statements and just understanding. Like, you don't have to do anything with it right away, but
Just see
understanding
where it's going.
where it's going. And you may have a subscription that you didn't know you were signed up for. That happens all the time.
You're totally right.
One of the guests I had on earlier this week, he bought a jacket for $20 and they charged him $220, but he didn't know. And it's like
I'll really cry.
It's probably too late to go back and
Yeah.
get that money. So if you're not checking this and like making a mindful effort to pay attention to it,
Yeah, no, you're right.
these things can just slide out of control. Cool. So, and we already talked about the fast food. ATM fees. You kind of racked up a handful of them.
Yeah.
And I probably know what
I'd be at
the purchases are for.
Yeah, you know the vibes.
Yeah.
You know the vibes, yeah.
But-
like, can I say it on the show? Don't want to say it on the show.
You can
but-
say it on the show.
Yeah,
It's
like,
legal
I'd be at
here.
the dispensaries, y'all.
Yeah.
I'd be at the dips. So if I don't make it to my ATM, I'm definitely going to tap into there. So, yeah, it's that, like, little $3 fee that they do.
Until you pay this
And
debt
that
off,
yeah.
you need to not use their ATMs. Like, get out of here. You have a $30,000 car you
I
can
know.
drive to your bank.
I know. I'm going to do better. I'm going to do better, y'all. I'm going to do better.
You can drive to your bank.
I will start driving to the
Or
bank, y'all.
better yet, here's a better plan. Once a month, you budget how much money you want to go towards that endeavor.
Yeah.
And you take that out at that time. And then if you run out of that money, you don't
That's
you don't,
that.
you
Yeah.
don't do anymore.
I really needed. I'm serious. I'm trying. Like, that's literally like an addiction for me. Like, and it's addiction's real, y'all. Like,
It is real.
So it's like that is like in my daily routine. So I'm just like, once I run out, boom, I need more. And
Yeah.
But I do need to get on that. Like,
And it doesn't have to be, but the first step is, again, recognizing and then making actionable steps to potentially decrease your usage. I know something that I do is cold plunging.
Okay.
It's super uncomfortable, but
Really?
apparently there's a lot of benefits for addiction-related like methods
yeah.
because you get a huge dopamine release from the cold plunge activity, and you don't necessarily seek out the fulfillment of your normal habit,
Right,
but that's
right.
a whole nother thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's not why we're here today.
That's
But
another
yeah,
conversation.
You just got to budget for it because it's just like it was like upwards of $20 in like ATM fees.
Yeah,
Why?
I'm already
You know,
knowing.
okay, it's $20, but $20
still.
over the course of a year is
Yeah.
$240
Yeah, you're right.
every month. Cool. So that's it. Not too hard. I wasn't too hard on you.
No, you were. You was keeping it real.
Yeah. But I'll give you these. These are yours. But the main thing that I like to do, one of the processes that I outline
Excuse me.
on the website is print these out
Okay.
and then take a highlighter and in like orange, for instance. Granted, those aren't the best colors to use, but if you have like a yellow highlighter, highlight all the essential purchases in yellow.
Okay.
And then all the just trash in pink or red or whatever's going to stand out.
Okay.
And that's going to give you a visual representation of maybe I am spending money on things I shouldn't be.
Right.
And that is just something, you know, that I like to exercise, especially when you start out, because you need every kind of level of accountability and
Right.
helpful way of just understanding where you're at.
Absolutely.
Because it's a process. And then hopefully week over week, you're seeing less of the red
Right.
and more yellow.
Yes.
Cool. So now for the fun part.
Oh my God.
The plan.
I'm ready for
The
it.
financial game plan.
Yes.
The first step for you, Armani, is going to be stable income, which you already outlined. You're seeking that out, which
I'm
is
on it.
fantastic. Let's go.
Come Monday, we on it, y'all. We
We
on
got
it.
FedEx. We got stable hours of FedEx.
Yep.
We got stable income from Floyd's.
Yep.
Shout out to Floyd's.
Major shout out to Floyd.
Love that place. And then you got your side hustle that you're building, which has limitless potential. That's
Absolutely.
great. That's exactly what I want for you.
Thank you.
And understanding where you have free time and how you can utilize that free time to potentially make you money is
Yep.
important. But you got to be reasonable and be honest with yourself because you do need to take care of yourself too.
Absolutely. Agreed.
So I want to ask you a question. How much money do you think you need to earn to be debt free in 1 year?
In one, well, I need at least 51K to get debt free.
Yeah, well, you gotta live too. How much do you need to earn?
Dang. I would say like doubling the debt that I have. Like that's how much I want to make, just to get out of it. And
how much do you want to make?
100K.
100 grand.
100K, baby.
You are actually spot on.
Yeah, that's
if you want to be debt free in 1 year and pay this car off, you got to make 100 grand.
All right.
And there's a couple things that are involved with that, because 100 grand after taxes is $73,214. You don't have to write this down. I'm going to give you this piece of paper after taxes, and I'm going to tell you exactly how that debt payoff kind of flows through.
Okay.
So if right now you're earning 30 grand, which is below average in Denver.
Yeah.
It's tough to live on.
It really is.
The average income in Denver is $59,000. You can get there.
For sure.
But you don't have to. So you need to work your butt off and start hustling several jobs, which you already have the mindset that you're going to do that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But yeah, you no longer have a lot of free time until this debt's paid off.
Yeah, no.
And it's great that you're kind of understanding that. And maybe there's a way to form your hobbies. Like if you enjoy going out,
and that's
can you get a job at a club?
So I tapped in. They're opening up. Have you ever been to the lobby?
No.
It's called Native, but it's
okay,
not called
I've heard of that.
It's not called Native. It's the lobby now. Like they
Cool.
changed everything. So they just celebrated their 1 year, and they're opening up 2 more locations. So I've been literally persistently trying to tap into them this whole summer, but they've had a full staff. But a couple weeks ago, I got in with the bottle girl manager.
Sweet.
So I'm like, and I'm a nightlife girl. Like I'm outside in the club. I'm here with the crowd. So gave him the application, and he said he'll reach out to me. So yeah,
that's sick.
Yeah,
Follow up on that.
Yeah,
because you're gonna get paid to do the thing that you enjoy.
Literally,
that's sweet. Cool. So the thing I wanted to outline is minimum wage in Denver is $17.29 according to Google. So if you want to earn 100 grand getting paid minimum wage, you have to work 15.8 hours every day, 7 days a week, which is 111 hours per week, which is like tough.
Yeah, I'm like, it sounds crucial, but I'm a soldier.
It's tough. It's going to be tough.
It is going to be tough.
If you just made $20 an hour, leveled up just slightly, that's 13.7 hours a day or 96 hours a week, a little more attainable. If you can make $30 an hour, figure out how to do that, you're only at 9.1 hours a day or 64 hours a week.
I like that.
Way more attainable.
Literally.
This is a tough one. This would be a huge milestone, but if you could get to $40 a week, you're looking at a normal 9 to 5, girl.
That's
you're
right.
6.8 hours a day, 48 hours a week.
Yeah, need that.
That's a solid life. But the thing is, that's easy to just write down and say. The hard part is, how do we actually get there? And part of that is going to be figuring out how you can level up your skill set to get paid more money. And part of that with the barber position is going to be, how can you level up your experience to go work for higher end shops?
Literally. And ultimately, like my passion, like I want to be a mobile barber. Like I want to be like,
that'd be cool.
Cutting the players' hair. Like I want to be flown out or having to travel, like even up to like just see you. Like they just got all the barbers up there now and the braiders and stuff for the football team, and so that's like something that I want to do. Like that's my passion. That's my ultimate end goal, is to be that girl, that top female barber just out here traveling and doing the money, making the money. So I'm gonna get there. But
you are going to get there.
Yeah.
And it's going to take a lot of work.
Yeah.
But if you are dedicated to that and you are able to learn from some people who are either at that level, because one thing I wanted to mention to you is that like people don't just get places without help. In having mentors in your life who are either at the level you're at or who have lived that life, that's like a huge benefit.
It
and
really is.
If you don't have that, I would encourage you to seek that out.
Absolutely.
And it might involve like cold calling or like reaching out or DMing people on social media.
Yeah.
You're going to get a lot of people who say no or don't reply, but it just takes one who says, yeah, I'd love to like talk to you.
Yeah.
Teach you a little bit.
Absolutely.
So that's the debt payoff schedule, or not the debt payoff schedule, but what you need to earn if you want to keep your car.
Okay.
If you're able to sell your car, your debt goes from $51,000 to $20,000. How much do you think you need to earn?
That looked real nice.
How much do you think you need to earn to pay off $20,000?
I would double that as well. So I would only really have to earn $50K.
God, did you read my notes? Because that's spot on.
I'm really just psychic, you know.
You're just smart. Let's take it for what it is. You're intelligent, so you get it. Yeah, you have to make $50,000 or $40K after taxes to pay off $20,000, which is so attainable.
It really is.
And I will tell you, $50,000 is attainable for you, but it's going to take more than a year.
Yeah.
Unless you can miraculously start making $40 an hour, which is going to be tough. But if you can level up to even $20 an hour, like you could do it, but feasibly it's probably going to be 2 years, which is okay.
Right.
You can still do it.
We gonna do it.
But it'd be a lot easier if we could figure out how to get out of that $30,000 loan.
And I'm gonna figure it out. Actually, I'm like,
Are you thinking about?
Like, I need a car, but like, I don't need this $30,000 car, you know. So I'm like, and I do know people that can like kind of get me out of it. And the guy actually, like, for the car payment at the bank, he was like, "Do you even want this car anymore?" I'm like,
there's your first signal.
No, but like, what am I gonna do? Like, because no, I don't want this car and I don't want that payment, you know. Like, honestly, I really don't. I need me a little $200 payment,
or no payment,
or none at all. Right? I just need to be paying insurance. Like, gosh, dang.
Is there? Yeah, because you're right there. Like, everything that you're saying is all the right mentality, because you're willing to sacrifice a lot to get out of this. Yeah. And the cool part is, once you're out, then you can start living your life.
Literally.
And selling the car and driving a little shitbox car for a while doesn't say anything less about you as a person.
Right.
It's just your financial journey. I drove a $600 car for years. That car started on fire on the highway.
What? Oh my God. That fire.
I ended up having to tie one of my good friends has a memory of this. He was in the car with me, and we had to tie a sock around part of the engine to keep it from lighting on fire again. And I drove that shitty car until the day it died.
Till the wheels fell off.
And did I feel great when I was in it? No. But did that car get me to where I'm at today?
Right,
absolutely. Because I paid cash for it. I didn't have a loan. My insurance was next to nothing, because I just had liability because the car didn't really matter to me.
Yeah.
That's going to be a process for you to get out of this car, but it sounds like you're willing to take that head on.
I am. I'm like, I'm actually going to go talk to this dude, because he was telling me, like, you can get out of it, but you would have to be making a lot of money to get out of it at this point. And I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So
get some advice.
Yeah.
See what the value of the car is, because you could potentially sell it on the open market.
Yeah.
It's a high loan amount, but I know that those cars are really popular here.
Yeah.
So it is possible. Get information. Hopefully you're not having to pay any penalties.
Oh, no, not right now. Not that I don't think.
To like get out from it.
Yeah.
Usually you're able to sell it, clear it, and get out. And then if you do need to figure out another mode of transportation, get creative.
I know. And I'm like, and I do live down here. So I'm like, I'll only have to travel to DTC, which, you know, the bus is right there.
Could you take the bus for 1 month?
RTD, yeah, I'm like...
2 months? Could you do it for 2 months and then save up, buy a car with cash?
Yeah, you're right.
And buy, a little $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 car with cash, and then, boy, you're on your way.
Damn. He's saying all the right things, y'all. You're right. Seriously, like, I really got to sit down and map this out, because I do have people that I can reach out to try and at least help me get out of here, or even just reach back out to the bank. Like, what can we do?
Yeah, start the process.
Yeah,
because when I saw that $30,000 loan,
I know.
I'm like, who preyed on you, girl?
Dude.
Who preyed on you? Because that is like so much.
It is.
For a car. That being said, we learn in life.
We do. And I'm in probably one of the most trying times, and I'm learning all the lessons I can right now.
That's great.
I'm thankful.
And this car is something that I like to coin stupid tax.
Yeah.
You're going to pay stupid tax on this car. You're already paying stupid tax every time that
Literally.
this interest payment hits every month
Yeah.
for this expensive car.
Yeah.
And if you end up having to sell this car and for some reason you can only get $28,000 for it, you might just have to pay that $2,000 to get out from this, because over the course of the lifetime of this loan, you're going to pay a lot more than that.
Yeah. You're right.
Which is scary.
Yeah, you're right.
But take it head on.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to talk to me again about it, I'd be happy to.
Yeah.
Try to figure out a plan for your vehicle or like how you're going to get transportation.
Yes.
But that's like big core portion of like you can get out of this in a year if you sell that car. Because we already outlined you're going to be making over $30,000
Yeah,
and you only need
literally.
to get to 50.
You're right.
And the cool part about 50K is if you can get a $20 per hour average, you only need to work 6.8 hours a day or 48 hours a week.
Yeah, and that's solid. I need that. I'm gonna get there for sure. I'm excited, and I'm just ready to really map the plan out, or get the plan going.
Get it going.
Yeah.
Well, you already got it going. That's the cool part.
Yeah.
We already outlined in what I want you to do next is stop spending all your money and just start holding yourself accountable
Yeah.
to your financial goals.
Okay.
It's easy to spend every dollar that comes into our bank account.
Yeah.
It's easy. That's the easy thing to
Yeah,
do. You
it
see
is.
it, it's there, it's easy to spend. But for you, you want bigger things in life.
Absolutely.
So this little immediate desire doesn't weigh anything compared to what you want to build for your life. So take that to heart and just
Yeah.
own it.
I will.
And it's okay to make mistakes, but you must begin to start building habit of completing a monthly budget planner.
Okay.
And I have, so this is a budget planner that is available for free on mymoneymovement.com.
Okay.
There's 3 months here for you.
Okay.
It is so simple, but if you've never gone through a budget before, it can be kind of complex.
Yeah.
So the first portion is income. You're going to do what we just did. You
Okay.
just outline, I'm going to make $800 from this job. I'm going to
Okay.
make $2,000 from this job, etc.
Okay.
Write all that down. It doesn't have to be perfect science, but as you go month over month, you'll pull actuals from the month
Right. The
before.
numbers. Okay.
But for the first one, you're just kind of going to estimate.
Okay.
And then you're going to put your fixed expenses, which is your rent, your insurance, your car payment.
Okay.
And if we had more time today, we'd go through it. But if this is something you would like to talk through, we could do another Zoom chat and go through it,
Yeah.
because I really want you to utilize this. It is what
Agreed.
will be the game changer.
Yes.
It's
absolutely.
essentially building a plan. And then other expenses are going to be budgeting for food, budgeting for fun, which is something I talk about in my blog, is really important. Like you need to have a budget of money that
Yeah.
you are going to use
Right.
for fun activities,
Mhm.
and then don't go over it.
Yeah.
But that way, when you're doing whatever that fun activity is, you budgeted for it and you know it fits in your plan.
Yeah.
Because the last part is
Recap. Or bills. is what
the
it
bills. Yeah. So the bills portion could be your Excel bill.
Okay.
It's essentially like your phone bill, Excel bill. You could put your insurance in there. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter which bucket you put those in as long as you're tracking them.
Okay.
And it works best for you. And then at the bottom, that's where you get to recap it.
Okay.
So the top portion is your plan for the month and what's going to be expected. And then at the bottom is when you review it. So you total up all of your income,
Okay.
and then you're going to total up your various expenses. And then you just do the simple math of, okay, I made this much. I spent this much.
Mm-hmm.
Did I save money or did I end up not saving money? And hopefully the numbers on the far portion, which is the difference, are
Yeah.
positive numbers because you're saving more money.
Right.
Then you can start funneling all that money into your debts.
Right.
But it all starts with a plan. And if you're not doing a monthly budget, you're going to fail.
I know. And that's
It's
really
like
where
this-
I failed. I'm so serious. I really used to budget. I really did when I had that consistency. And I was just I would write down all my bills every month. As soon as I get paid, I'm literally paying those. So bi-weekly, I had everything done. And by the first of the month, I was cleared. I was good. I was feeling so good, paying the bills and everything. it's just income right now. So
Sure.
I'm ready to get on it and get back to budgeting because I don't even know why the heck I stopped.
It's just easy to stop.
Yeah,
That's
it
the
is.
thing.
Yeah.
But what I recommend is put it in your calendar.
Okay.
Like block a day where you spend 2 hours
Yeah.
and you just look at your finances.
For
I want
sure.
you to look at your spending history, and I want you to do your budget.
All right.
And it's okay if things get a little out of whack, but
Yeah.
if you're not reviewing that,
Right.
you're just kind of out there in the world wandering, and it's just hard to stay on track that way.
It is. It is. It's hectic. Very.
Yeah. So you can do it. I already know you have it in you because
Yeah.
you've done it before.
Exactly.
Cool. So the debt payoff section, number 3, your current debt with the car is $51K. If you sell the car without it, it's $20,000.
Okay.
Way more attainable number.
Mm-hmm.
And your cost of living is, I put it at $1,600
Right now, so it's $1,450 I pay a month downtown,
for your rent.
Mhm.
Okay.
and that's flat.
That's just your rent.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of honest. That's like everything in there, like literally the $1,450, and then I just pay like my Excel and Xfinity.
Cool.
So like all the water is in there, I guess.
Yeah. So your living expenses are a little higher than that.
Exactly.
Are you able to get a roommate?
I would rather not.
You'd rather not?
I'd literally rather not. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. Like it's just
okay.
I've had my first 2 apartments I had
Mhm.
roommates, and it was, oh god,
Yeah.
hard pass.
How much longer do you have on this lease?
I just came like till next year.
Another
And
year.
I just,
Okay.
so like I had to move out. It didn't work out, but honestly, like the
Mhm.
property manager, I know him. We work together at another job. So he's really working with me and providing me this place so I can even have a place to sleep, honestly. So
Yeah.
I'm going to thug it out downtown and stay there.
Sure.
I'm not even worrying really too much about that. It's just all the other stuff.
Yeah.
So-
Well, that's great, but my concern is it's kind of high. It's like half your income right now.
Yeah, it is. I know. I'll be thinking that too with the monthly. Like, oh my God.
Yeah. So for now, you're kind of in that. That's
Mhm.
okay. But my plan for you was to kind of get your whole cost of living down to $1,600 a month.
Mm-hmm.
That's rent, that's food, that's insurance, that's everything.
Okay.
And right now, if your rent's at $1,500,
Right.
then you have your car payment, you're at $2,000. You have your food, so you're probably at $2,500,
Mm-hmm.
and you're probably going in the hole at that point
Yeah.
because it's going to be tough to live on $3,000.
Yeah.
So you're just going to have to sacrifice in more areas personally because you have this place downtown.
Yeah.
If there
exactly.
is a way for you to potentially find another place privately for $900,
Right,
because they're out
right.
there, you might have to live in a studio.
Well, and I'm trying to get on rental assistance. So I just threw in
be
another
great.
application for that as well. So I'm hoping that comes through.
Perfect.
seriously. Yeah.
Hopefully you can lower your living expenses
Yeah.
because if you can get to $1,600 a month and you can build an income level to $50K, which I believe you do have it in you,
Yeah.
you can pay off your debts in a year.
Definitely.
1 year. So $50K after taxes is $39,842 or $3,320 a month after taxes,
Okay.
meaning if your cost of living stays, or we can get it down to $1,600 a month, you'll have an additional $1,720 per month to pay to your debts. And if you paid $1,720 for 12 months, you will have paid $20,640, effectively eliminating all of your debt.
That's nice.
And the cool part about this plan is, yes, it's 1 year, but it doesn't have to be 1 year. It could
Right.
be 2 years.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's your journey. It's your process. You can get there.
Gotta get it
You can
done,
do
yeah,
this. You just have to
yeah.
start.
Exactly.
And you did. You started today.
I'm here. I'm starting it. I'm excited for real. I'm
You got
ready
some.
for it.
You have some great things ahead of you.
Thank you.
And I hope that you leave today feeling really empowered
I do.
because you have a great head on your shoulders. You are
you.
very easy to communicate with. Like, you can do whatever you want. It's just
Yeah.
going to be a matter of you deciding.
If I want to do it or
What
not.
that journey is for
Yeah,
you.
Yeah. And that was the thing I had to just do this week. Literally just kind of like smack myself in the face. Like, all right, get out of this laziness and this slump, like just get it together. Your life is
Mhm.
going to come back together. You just got to do something about it. Like,
Start
you
owning your
not
life.
doing nothing is doing nothing. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's a beautiful quote. Well
That
said.
just came off the tip of my tongue, y'all.
That's good.
It really did.
So my last question for you, Armani, is what are you willing to sacrifice for financial freedom?
Right now, I'm willing to sacrifice being outside, not working, being in the club. Like, if I'm not working in the club, I shouldn't really be outside spending money in the club, I can sacrifice that for right now. Other than that, I'm going to try and sacrifice this car, man.
That's right. Perfect.
That's really that. Yeah, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
So
The reason why I asked that question is really just the fact that you're willing to think about what you're willing to give up is just the initial mindset that's going to open doors for you.
Absolutely.
Because you can't change the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Mm-hmm. So the fact that you are willing to sacrifice some things in your life that are going to be inconvenient, you're going to get there.
Yeah. And will.
You will get there. And I'm very excited to continue to talk to you over the course of 6 months. My goal for this is to do a follow-up in 6 months to see where you're at. If you need any help outlining the budget, I would love to offer that for you, because at the end of the day, my goal for this show is, yes, I want to educate people out there who may be in a similar situation, but I want you to succeed.
Absolutely.
And you are now a money mover. So I'd like to welcome you to the family of money movers.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
And I'm just going to read this little portion that I wrote down.
Okay.
So Armani, by being here today, you have taken the first step on your way to financial freedom. You are taking ownership of your finances, and in doing so, I am confident you will succeed. Your journey is going to require you to hold yourself accountable, because this isn't something that happens overnight. It's a process of habits built over time. You deserve to build the life you want, and I'm thrilled to again welcome you to the growing family of money movers.
Thank you.
And if you are struggling with debt and need help, please consider subscribing to My Money Movement on YouTube and check out mymoneymovement.com.
Thanks, y'all.